Hello and welcome to another iconic episode of Create Now. Today we're talking about vowel modifications. So as you go up, today's date is the 8th of April 2020, the time is 11:08. As you go up through the frequency range, you'll notice that you have to change. There's less room as you go up in frequency. Right? There's less room because you're using a smaller resonant chamber and so on with your mouth. So there's not as much room. So you got to shave down some of these vowels. VOUL modifications. Alright, so let's have a little look at these. The vowel modification, this is from singwise.com, vowel formant. Vowel modification is an intentional slight adjustment made to the sound acoustics of the vowel by altering the basic way in which the vowel is articulated. Alright, so it can almost sound like a different word. It's very unusual. It's almost like putting an accent on it, like you're singing like you're from a different country or something. Basic way in which the vowel is articulated, with the goal of attaining more comfortable. That's right. So if you're trying to sing a big like that no longer sounds like does it? That's more. I don't know what that is, but it's not anyway. I start. You got to land strong on that and start on the or whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm not saying up really high. If I tried to do that, my voice would just clog up and say no, and I get a lot of tension in my throat and so on. So we're what here in Bennett? And so on. Getting into whistles and so on there. What is the hardest vowel to sing? I believe it's E, R. The hardest vowel to sing. Lovely. Alright, so let's have a little look at this chart. It goes through in basic form what I was give an example of there by sound wise. Okay, so let's see what we have to do here. Vowels, closeness, close, frontness, front, rounding, unrounded. Okay, vowel modifications confuse the flip out of me, man. So there's bright sounding vowels and there are softer sounding vowels. If it's too bright, you can modify it to sound dark. So if it's too bright, you can modify it to So changes to and if it's too dark, you can modify it toward a more forward position by bringing it forward to E. So more E sound there as you get high up. E with oo. IH to oo again. Alrightio. And AY with more bring it forward to oo. Yeah. So AH toward AW toward oo and AW toward OH toward AH. These vowels create the majority of problems in most choirs. Okay, E, alright, so as we are ah, eh. They are quite dark sounding in chest voice. So as we move from chest voice to head voice, okay, we got eh and ah, quite dark. And as we're going up, does chest voice your low voice? And changes more to ah, A-W, ah, A-W, ah, ah, ah. So E-H and A-H, ah, eh. As they go up, start changing to ah, and as it goes up some more, it's translating to O. That's O-U, O. And once it gets up very, very high, it just goes O-O. Alright, these are the vocal modifications for singing vowels. E, A, U, O. E, O. O-O. So that's E-H, A-W, O-U, O-O. Alright, so you'll hear it. You'll constantly hear it when people are singing very high up. It sounds like they're implying the word, but they're not really articulating it. They're implying the words, but not necessarily saying them. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Ba-ba-da-doo-da-doo-da-doo. Eh-ha to ah to oo to o. Okay. Have we got any other good stuff here? E and ah to oo to aha. Alright. Yeah. So this is how people can sing up super, super high when they're singing. Because they're not singing ah and la. They're changing it as they go up higher. So normally when people go ah, the ah doesn't really stay there. It changes to something else. But as you come back down, as I keep saying, it lands. So yeah. And if you're having trouble straining, it's all about letting go and letting it go. As it comes up to your chest, you're letting go of the tension and letting it go up into your head. So you know, once it goes to head voices, you no longer have, it's a lot less effort. It's like playing with a feather or something as opposed to playing with a stone. Like it's very delicate. You don't really need to apply much power at all. A lot of us do a breast compression, which is not letting all your air out at the same time. Let's have a little look here. Any other bits? So this is a thing. It says how to become professionalsinger.com. It says how to sing high notes without straining. So it says when you strain, you not only damage your vocal cords, your tone is ruined. Yeah. So you're restricted to the resonance, and you're pitched poorly too. So it's all to do with tension and not staying relaxed, which can be very hard to do when you're getting frustrated that you're not good at something. It's very hard to stay chill when you're realizing, oh man, I'm not a great singer straight away. Like any other muscle in your body, the vocal folds cannot achieve the level of flexibility we need to hit those high notes overnight. It takes time, practice, correct technique, and learn how to reach high notes. There you are. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Alright, so that's fucking vowel modifications. Some people believe that, the voice is all one thing, one register. Some people believe that the voice is two registers, the chest voice and the high voice. Some people believe that it's all just learning 4 different formants. There's a lot of people, because you can't see what's going on in the voice, a lot of people have like superstition, like the old ways. You gotta have emotional pain if you want to be a good singer. Some people are like, no, you gotta like train 6 hours a day and it's got nothing to do with emotion. And people can't. It's just like a lot of politics. People can't really agree on singing. They can agree on the basics, but as soon as it gets into theoretical singing and stuff, the waters get a bit murky. But technique is technique will save you, I guess. It's got nothing to do with natural talent anyway. Just reading some shite online here. Good luck. It's all got to do with how much you want it, isn't it? Some people just aren't that bothered being great singers because they got other shit, more important shit to be taken care of. That's not for everyone. It's just if it's something you need to do, you'll do it. If it's something you don't need to do, you won't do it. Path of least resistance, I guess. And just like any thing in life, there's the singing teachers all fight with each other and go, no, I'm better, and you're teaching it wrong, and so it can be hard to know, like when the people in power or people with the knowledge even sing it with, they can't agree with each other and so on, and they're all fighting over like beef that like someone slept with someone's ex-girlfriend or something, and I'm not talking to him because of this, and all these things. Alright. So, okay, I'll just have a little comment here, and this is on Reddit singing vowel modifications aren't just high notes, alright? 1 year ago. So this is posted by, it doesn't have a name. I haven't really been on Reddit, so I don't really know how this works, but can I get a name here somewhere? Maybe he started the forum or something. Sorry, I don't know how this. It's Reddit singing. Alright, it's a subreddit for all singers. So it's the first one. 1 year ago. Here we go. Vowel modifications aren't just high notes. The physics of standing waves. Alright, let's see what this has to say. It's commonly taught that we should modify our vowels past our passago point in order to relax the voice and stay in tune. Yes. Oh, Ken Tamplin points out that these vowel modifications occur again higher in the range. But what he didn't mention is that these modifications cycle throughout the whole vocal range. Alright. It's essentially the physics of standing waves. Your mouth and throat from the space that resonates, and when the frequency is just right, all the waves will either constructively or destructively interfere. So phase cancellation, all that stuff. When they constructively interfere, there's buildup of pressure. Hence, we need to modify our vowels. This opens up space, which changes the frequency of where that standing wave occurs. So it's like singing in a... Do you ever notice if you're in the bathroom and some notes seem really, really loud, and all of a sudden some notes seem really, really loud? That's to do with standing waves, and it means that the note you're singing is a direct multiple of the space you're in, so it gets louder than the other notes. So it's standing waves and small. You'll notice this if you're in the shower. So some notes seem definitely loud, like this note will be really loud, but the note above it and below won't, will just be the same volume. That's standing waves. Anyway, we're going to keep reading. Opens up the space. We need to modify back to avoid another standing wave from occurring. So we should constantly and smoothly modifying back and forth to avoid this buildup of pressure. Alright? So that might be a little bit technical, but it's very good to know. The vowel oo, that's oo, particularly opens up the OH, then back to OO. Alright, so you change from O to oo to O. The E vowel, EE, periodically opens up to the EH and then back to the EE. The vowel AH periodically opens up to AW, then UH, then OO, then back to oo, ah, and ah. That's, yeah. AH has more vowel modifications over the longer series of notes due to the standing wavelengths. Since it's important, most open vowels for me, the O and OH, OO and OH, and the EE, EH has a period of about an octave, whereas the AH mods have a period of 3 octaves from OO at C2 main vowels, everything else stems from. I should point out that you're new to the vowel modification. It just feels like you're singing O rather than OH mouth shape, for example. You are not actually singing OH. The big OH sound would actually have the AH mods since it opens to AH. So yeah, as I said, it's a bit of lingo to this, and they're all quite similar. Try singing the bottom of your range to the top with OO or EE. As you ascend, feel the increase of pressure due to the standing waves, and modify to OH or EH, then back to O, then E accordingly. As you modify back and forth, you should feel the modifications happen smooth, periodic manner. It feels like you're riding a wave. This means that we actually should modify lower than where our Piaggio, that's P-A-S-S-A-G-I-O, starts. For my voice, I feel O and E modified to OH and EH around C3. And then go back to O and E around C4. This is important for staying in tune. Alright, so vowel modifications are important for staying in tune. You can see singers like Ariana Grande modifying back and forth during runs. This is one reason why they sing in tune so well. In fact, modifying helps these runs happen, since it's much easier to move a relaxed voice. Very, very true. It also helps with extreme low notes such as E2. You should be modifying there as well. Finally, if you practice these mods enough, you shouldn't have to think about it while singing. You can just feel where your voice wants to open up. Note, this is not a hypothesis I came up with, but seems to be quite sensible. Not a physics major, just a maths major. Alright. So there you are. I must say that does make sense to me. Standing waves, letting off pressure, and all these things. So that's an all interesting one there now. I'll give you that. My God, man. Let's bomb through this one. This is one Flappy Vikes Clamello. The vowels themselves are this is someone else's opinion on it. The vowels themselves are a result of standing waves from the vocal tract. Standing waves are there all the time. There is an idea called formant tuning, which explored the relationship of tuning the resonances of vocal tract with the pitch being sang. In special the interaction with the formant group of lower partials, but modifications that singers do were observed with experiments, and they did not show direct relation to the fundamental or harmonics of following or avoiding. Many different modifications were found, and they did not happen in such a way that certain frequencies matched or avoided consistently. On some points, the frequencies match and reinforcement happens on the partials. When you are belting around G4, for example, this is common, or conveying around the A sharp 4 specifically. Sopranos seem to do direct tuning to the fundamental on their higher range. You can sing any vowel across the entire range. You will only find restrictions when you move to more intense qualities, where narrow vowels such as OO and OE will not be able to cope with the sound pressure. Certain shapes favor different qualities due to the coupling and energy transfer of the vocal folds to open the air, making it easier to sing CVT modes. However, at many situations it is easier to do wouldn't sound particularly impressive. Often it sounds awful, and this involves the configuration of the epiclorax, that's EPI, or the epilarynx, EPILARYNCA, twang or false fold compression, which that's what that is, which changes the perceived vowels as well. There are many ways to use modifications. On training, for example, you can use vowels UH and IH as a limiter to learn how to use middle intensity level and avoid shouting. You can use rounder vowels combined with more aggressive singing to balance the sound quality that would otherwise be obnoxious. On classical male voices, that's why covering is used. You can also use the relationship between quality and vowel to help acquire a certain quality. That's fucking brilliant. So, vowel modifications, they're very, very important. When I first heard about vowel modifications, I was like, oh, my whole life is a lie. I never noticed vowel modifications before. I heard them, but I didn't have a name for them, and I just thought it was like singing. Vowels are agreements. You can tune timbres or not tune timbres and still get vowels. Yup. It's all about representation. We don't all hear vowels, we hear sounds, and we take those represent something or not. That's not a question of maths, it's a question of negotiation and persuasion. I posted some tuned timbres below. There you are. Because I also stay in, you can avoid tuning the timbres. It's all about putting the power to physics to work for you. Okay, so this is what I was getting into. My God, people are very Alright. So this is someone strongly disagreeing with everything the other guy said, okay? So, as I said, vowel modifications people can agree on, but the subtleties of it, they can't really. So here it says, This is Patiker's response. In a word, no. Ken Tamplin's like a singing coach, and he's in some big bands in like the 80s or something. Seems like a nice enough dude. I'd go for a drink with him. Apparently he doesn't. He's a Christian. He doesn't do any bold stuff. But I don't know. Seems like a good lad. In mix objective fact with subjective, arbitrary, restricted categories. Making standing waves is a simple physical act. You should be able to describe the waves and where they come from if you want to seem like this is actually meaning anything. Destructive interference need not be widened like a talisman to ward off questions. Just describe it. It's the same thing that happens in a river when there's a big rock causing a standing wave. Your larynx makes the whole bunch of frequencies a periodic impulse. Only some of these fit between the larynx and the end of the mouth. In other ones are destroyed. This is the bottom layer. Oh my word. Just feels like some big dodgy conspiracy. Just you're singing your vocal cords. Your terminal opening when makes a fresh standing wave from that. It produces a second layer of your sound sandwich and is sending vibrational energy in every direction. First overtone if we are lucky and you have decent intonation. So now we have a smaller, bit more powerful wave, and it doesn't fit between the tongue and the roof of your mouth. Everything that doesn't fit in is destroyed. But since energy cannot be destroyed, we are starting to build a lot of power. Modifying the tongue alters the timbre and produces pitches 2, 5 on the harmonic series. That's very interesting, isn't it? So you can alter the harmonic series with your tongue, position of your tongue. So harmonic series is like just keeps going up, and depending on what your tongue is, you can maybe turn down these higher notes or something and just have this note higher. So you're kind of balancing the frequencies differently, or organizing the frequencies differently in different order by the position of your tongue, which is bloody fascinating. Please do not refer to partial vowels in these terms. Most speakers of most languages will accept multiple arrangements of standing waves as the sail vowel because there are representations. Singing can be described using the language concept it is trying to represent. That's ridiculous. It's not a reversible cause-effect relationship. To represent vowels, speakers and singers of language negotiate, agree on set timbres that are accepted as a given vowel and given pitch. Some of these timbres are very far from each other, but serve to represent the same vowel. There is no actual vowel, it's imaginary. If vowels were real, language would not be such a powerful tool. Stop bringing such an unsophisticated understanding to your art. To describe how you sing, talk about the position, motion, and attitude of the thing making the sound you. Don't just talk about an abstraction that can't be reversed to get the source. And in reply to that, Tom says, argumentative but factual. This is why learning simple overtone singing is useful. It teaches you how to make a strong source signal. Alright, so overtone singing is like so you hum a tone, then you can whistle different overtones. And so on. You can do it, there's loads of different ways to do it. But yeah, that's all to do with vowel modifications. Very confusing, I must admit, and also very simplistic at the same time. So it's all how much you think about it. Alright, have a great day. And it doesn't really matter, just practice singing, it'll be fine. If you get a sore throat, chill, have a sip of water. Over now.